Hey guys, Tyro here, and today we're looking at Game 1 of the semi-finals of the 2v2 Commander Revamp Preview Tournament. In the south we have the Polish team Reto, Dzokonda as the Brits with Royal Artillery, and RedBjarne as the Soviets going for a tier 1 strategy. NKVD and Urban Defense, of course, the Revamp commanders. And in the north we have Gold Path 2, Scotch as the Austria player with the German infantry and defensive, and Noggano playing as Nico, as OKW has elite armor and Overwatch. No real point in looking at these, because before you pick with the Commander Revamp commanders, you can't actually see an accurate depiction of what's in the commander, what's been changed. So don't really need to dwell on those too much. Anyway, first engagement, it looks like Stern Pioneers charged for the house, but Brits on this side of the map also can charge straight for the house, win the race, and now taking a favourable engagement long range here. There's 3 windows firing, but Stern Pioneers not that effective at this range. Would be much better if the Volksgrenadiers were here. I think the Volksgrenadiers could win that. 3v5. Did see them over here to build some sandbags to try hold on to this VP though. Machine gun heading out over this way. Early universal carryout for its own code. Dzokonda. Man, that name trips me up like crazy. Coming in to do some damage. Does have the option to do some pushing, but doesn't go in for it. Just gonna settle for some long range damage here. And Noggano pulls back, knowing the engagement is not favourable there. Interesting to see when he goes for a Reto. Will it be now, or will it be after another Volksgrenadier? Machine gun trying to hold the line here. Engineers trying to squeeze around the side of it, but Grenadiers are there in support. And now repositioning the machine gun immediately, shutting down the hopes of any further flank. Things looking pretty strong for the Axis. Being able to lock down fuel like this early as Austria can sometimes be a little bit tricky, but off to a pretty good start there. Pretty close map split though overall. Now he goes in for a bit of a push, trying to get them out of cover so these units can do the most damage. Now they're trying to run back round to the correct side. I don't think I've ever seen that kind of pushing before, where they run back to the side just as rapidly as they got pushed around the wrong side. And this squad just somehow not dropping any models despite being below half health. Very lucky for Dzokonda, because he goes in for another push. And he's going to win the engagement because of it. Finally drops a model now and tries to close in. Well-timed push. Now it looks like he's gone for the VP. These players already battling hard for the VPs early in the series. Stern Pioneers though maintain control, and Reken's creeping in. Brings it out of cloak to try and get there faster, but I think that got spotted. Maybe it didn't. Reken creeping in now. Oh, but it misses that shot. Unfortunate. Oh, and those Stern Pioneers vault the wall, but take a roasting in the process. Stern Pioneers closing in. There's some good damage. And they're going to win that engagement. Noggano's a very cool demeanour in these engagements. And going off pretty well for him so far. This machine gun has just been shutting down so many assaults from RedBjarne. But it looks like a penal finally squeezing around the side. And here comes the M3 with the flamer. Can he avoid the Faust before he gets the machine gun though? That's the critical question. scooting around the side? Is he going for a chase on the squad all the way to the base? Looks like it. Here comes a half track though from Scotch, trying to get his machine gun in there before the flamethrower upgrade completes. Oh, and this squad gets forgotten about. It gets wiped. He's going in for the wipe in return though on this green. It's retreating. No machine gun firing at that angle, but he gets the wipe. So they trade squads there. Penal, the high value unit though, 300 manpower versus 240. And the half-track still chasing. Flamethrower about to pop though, so it's not going to be able to do much damage to it for any longer. M3 still chasing, going after a retreating squad here. Kitten repositioning. Oh, he outright retreated it. Maybe it got... I'm not sure why he outright retreated it. Maybe... I have no idea. Maybe he thought he could get it back to deal with the M3, but... M3's pulling back for repairs. Enterprising play though. Very risky, like running your M3 round deep in enemy territory like that. Avoiding the Faust. While he was microing it that hard though, kind of careless loss on the penal, so too much focus on the light vehicle, causing losses in other areas. Looks nearly out for Noggano. A little bit late on the timing with that. Oh, not really, actually. That's probably pretty good timing. Here comes the flamethrower. No PTRS upgrades on either of these penal squads. So this is going to cause us some massive headaches. Oh, but here comes the AEC. Did he overextend? AEC not chasing, but he actually gets the kill with that second shot. Ordinarily... yeah. Oh, here comes 222 though. M3 pops overdrive, trying to boost it out of there, and just gets away. Okay, Rakitten's over here. Looks like it wants to deal with the Wasp. So the Axis might actually have to play with the 222 and the looks close together to try and deal with this AEC, because in a one-on-one scenario they will get outgunned by the AEC. He gets the shot in there, but it looks like it's going to have to retreat. It's taking a lot of damage from these Tommies now. Dropping models very quick. He's not retreating it, and he loses it outright. Not sure what he's doing there. He's going to try to recruit now. Tough spot. He needs to retreat. Why is it? Oh my god, so late on the retreat again. But he's going to be able to get away. That was a close call. Here comes 222. But it's quite low. AC is nearby. It looks as there as well. Do we have any PTRS? Still no PTRS. Actually, RedBjarne side taking and going for the Zis. Doesn't have access to the supply drop from Dzokonda. They don't have that commander in the loadout, so side taking and getting the Zis. Doesn't want to lose the DPS on his penals by upgrading them. Oh, nice tread shot. Looks like only one of the two shots landed. So it doesn't get the immobilized, just a temporary slow there. I think maybe if both shots had landed, he probably would have gone in for the kill there with the immobilized looks. Going to work in conjunction with the machine gun. This squad, oh, I didn't notice that Rakitten actually went down. I was like trying to find where the support weapon went down, but deep in friendly territory there for Noggano. He loses his Raketen again. This time probably for good. Machine gun in the building, stopping that push. Sternpine is also taking heavy damage. Packers nearby. But now that's taking damage. These Tommies behind heavy cover causing some major headaches here. Rough grenade went in, but didn't do too much damage. Penal's actually skirt around the side of this heavy machine gun, but here comes the 222. Let's try and push it away. Playing with it very conservatively though. So this is moving up, perhaps trying to bait one of these two light vehicles into the Zis. This connects long range. Impressive. And the Axis in trouble here. Actually got a 223 set up. Trying to get some more fuel as Noggano. Going for a Puma now as well. Doubling down on those light vehicles. It's going to be quite nice against the AEC. Will help against any medium vehicles as well. Seems like the Axis, the Allies, not too rushed though. No tier 3 down. RedBjarne even. He's just fully focused on support weapons at the moment. So there aren't going to be a medium, well, there isn't going to be a quick medium from RedBjarne anytime soon because he's got to save a lot of manpower to afford both stages of tech. Oh, combat engineers go down. G Greens picked them off long range there. Mortar pick going up for Dzokonda. Puma misses first 2 shots hitting the fence. So interesting to see him go for the mortar pit here. I have seen them go for this before, but usually they go for the forward assembly first to get their forward reinforcements, which also helps in the defense of the mortar pit. But I guess they feel that they're that far ahead right now, they can afford to go for something like this. And if something like this succeeds, it can lead to a like a win more scenario where you just keep snowballing the pressure and overwhelm your opponents. Wow, Scotch going for a sniper quite late in the game as well. M3 pushing forwards, posing a little bit of a threat. This is keeping the light vehicles back here. So this is causing some headaches for the Axis right now. They're relying on their light vehicles. They can't use them that effectively. Thanks to the Zis. 222 goes charging in. Knocks out the M3. Puma coming around the side. Out maneuvering the Zis. And now the Allies are in deep trouble. Zis getting flanked by the Puma and the light vehicles moving in. The AC's there. Gets the tread shot in. Pack is now... Puma is now immobilized. Zis sets up to go for some attack round shots into the smoke. Stolen Raketen is there. Axis now trying to pull back. And everything gets away alive. Tense moments though for both teams. Almost lost the Zis, almost lost the Puma. Forward assembly is up now. Being upgraded with a forward retreat point. Going to be able to keep that forward pressure on that BP point control as well. Noggano has gone for the repair upgrade as well, so he spent a lot of fuel on by going for 2 Pumas, but it looks like he is going for another tech truck. It'll be interesting to see if he goes for healing and then straight into the Sturm Tiger, or if he actually wants to go for the Schwer. RedBjarne, meanwhile, has selected Urban Defense, popping down some booby traps. It's going to make it hard with the Axis to push whenever they do, and I can't see where he tried to put the booby trap down. He might have tried to put it down on a sector, which, no, it's in the middle. Then started to get capped, is what I was thinking. Oh, Puma comes forward to shoot at this, but instantly spots the AT gun thanks to the Puma's long sight range. Pot smokes and gets out of there. Very good reaction times from Noggano. Booby trap goes off. Squad takes a whole bunch of damage. Just gets a shot in on the looks there. The support weapon play is keeping the pressure on the Axis. They're really struggling to hold on to 1 VP at the moment. Got their fuel though. And the truck is reversing out here. Looks like he's going to go for forward flak base. As this is right here though. Don't think the allies know that's going up. Or now he does. Looks like he's got sight of it just. Maybe thanks to that Maxim. And oh my god, it's taking so much damage. He has to cancel it, but it already took about half health damage. That means he got about half the resources back. Bit of a late cancel there for Noggano. So once again, another forward flak base attempt. And getting punished. I think this was like an especially bad one, but the Axis are in such big trouble. Putting one there just wasn't safe at all. Oh, sniper almost goes down to a Zis barrage, it looks like. Close call. And we're coming back in. But there are so many AT guns for the allies. Noggano's light vehicles have had real problems. Ooh, 1-2 punch from the mortar. She is just survive. Oh, I hear a boom bear. Here it is. Can this turn things around for the Axis? We'll have to wait and see. Brings it out onto the left-hand side. Second mortar pit going up for Dzokonda in a forward position. Puma going in after the AC. But the AT guns both reposition and Puma pulls back. Now this AT gun, this Raketen could go down. No. Oh, it does go down. LNG Greens pick it off. The good thing about this maneuver from Noggano as well is it's kind of diverted Dzokonda's AT guns from coming over to help deal with the Brumbier, which is doing some good work on this left-hand side. Oh, but the machine gun goes down to a frontal assault from the penals. He's going to try to stop it from being stolen here, but Brumbier overshoots. No, he actually goes for the satchel. Doesn't think he can steal it away safely. Fair enough. Axis battling hard to get themselves back in it, but they're up against 3 mortar pits, the booby traps as well. Just capping in the centre is going to be so lethal with so much indirect fire around. It's occupying a lot of Dzokonda's population. It's also providing a lot of anti-infantry damage. 2-2 2 pushes forwards, gets a shot from the Zis. Just takes a return shot from the sniper, and the Brumbear almost goes down. AC's there now. And so is the SU-85. Uh-oh. Goes for the treat shot. One of the shots connects. Brumbear is slowed. SU-85 chasing in. They're going after it. There's one more shot, I think. And there it goes. Brumbear goes down, and that is big problems for the Axis now. It's got still a decent chunk of fuel away from another vehicle. They're struggling to hold on to even one VP right now. Okay, we've got some flares coming in for Dzokonda. Wants to outmaneuver these machine guns perhaps, thanks to these flares. And also popping in some base artillery. Both howitzers, so quite a few shells going to be raining in here. Couldn't get spotted. Sniper's actually been doing very well. Scotch has been microing it very effectively. It was a risky maneuver, but it's paid off so far. Back sets up, but doesn't quite get the kill on the SU-85. It's one shot in on the UC though. Gotta be careful with this pack. It's probably going to be a mortar pit target. Number one enemy. Ooh, that was an attack ground shot, it looks like. Doesn't quite get the kill. Fresh tier 4 tech for Noggano, and he's just about got enough, and he does now, for a Panther. That's what he's going for. No Puma spam into Stern Tiger for him, like Von Ivan was doing. Oh, Puma in trouble. Oh, so much smoke in the middle. One mortar pit goes down finally, thanks to that pack, but now the pack goes down in return thanks to these penals. High action here, lots of losses on both sides. Oh, now SU-85 making use of the focus sight mode. Trying to knock out this tech structure again. That gets recruited and some shots in. Oh man, he's so good with the sniper. Really impressive stuff. 81 kills. And those mortar pits so threatening in the middle. Capturing the middle so dangerous for the Axis. Uh-oh. Penal now in trouble. Right in front of this 222, but the 222 not chasing. Oh, but he gets the kill anyway. Lucky break. Got some concentration barrage coming in. With the airburst shells now. There's some good damage. Oh my god, and those mortar pits just making capturing in the middle so dangerous. Barely get a cap off before you have to retreat. Still, RedBjarne has been suffering a lot of casualties. Very low on manpower, so we're not going to see the KV-2 anytime soon. Scotch has gone for German infantry, picked quite late. I don't think we've seen any 5-man Scotch from him yet, but 5-man would have been nice against this heavy mortar pit type strategy. Okay. It's got the sweepers out here, worried about those booby traps. Forward tree point right here, so even though Noggano pushing quite deep. Dzokonda holding his ground thanks to that forward retreat point. Manages to call in some artillery. It's going to be the fragmentation bombing run coming in from the long way here. Still does a lot of damage. Wipes for a kitten. Got to be careful with those. He brought in from this direction. Longer plane travel time. Took longer for the bombs to land. If he came from the other direction, would have been a little bit quicker. Might have been able to get a wipe with it. But Noggano has done an admirable job on this right hand side. Doing some good harassment. Getting control of the VPs. And actually the Firefly's taking quite a lot of damage from those double kittens there. Kitten's moving up. Looks like he wants to knock out this mortar pit. Allies are actually all of a sudden in quite a lot of trouble here. They've been suffering a lot of infantry casualties. Axis fighting their way back in admirably. MG42 on the penals. Bad news. Noggano has gone for the Panzer Commander. Got the bonus sight. Access to the artillery now on that. Does help you spend your munitions on this commander, dropping that artillery in. Can also make use of the crew repairs, which he hasn't been doing so far. I feel that's quite an effective strategy. Say you're in like an engagement, and one of your tanks takes damage quite early on. You can then pull it back, use this self-repair, and then bring it back. Tank engagement is still going on, but now your tank's back up to close to full and can continue the fight. Can help you swing the engagements right at the last second. Very effective way to use this ability. This has been providing Noggano with quite a lot of fuel though. It's just been sitting out here on the fuel point for ages and ages. Looks like this mortar pit's actually... oh no, not quite in range to be able to capture at the same time. But the Axis have done such a good job of finding their way back into this game. We've got a blob here on the retreat path. Dangerous times. Goes for a bit of a body block. Nice maneuvering by RedBjarne. Oh, and he gets the wipe too. Nice body blocking there. Oh, fresh from there. Oh, not fresh, but rebuilt. Already up to 10 kills. And now all of a sudden the Allies are on the back foot massively. I guess RedBjarne's probably going to try save for the KV2 right now. About 300 manpower away from that. And that's going to be quite tough for the Axis to deal with. They have got a few AT guns, but just the one Panther. And that's already going to be up against two tank destroyers, the Su-85 and the Firefly. These double mortar pits have been doing really good work. Both of them up to Vet 3. And Maxim gets decrewed there. Oh, Puma in trouble. Oh, with the Firefly. Doesn't chase. Firefly only needs 2 shots to kill the Puma, so it can happen in the blink of an eye. Oh, gets one double treat shot. Panther's immobilized, but doesn't move in to try and put more damage in. Su-85 does. And he's actually using the tank artillery on the mortar pit here. But nice activation of the brace comes through right in the nick of time. Even with the brace on though, they're still at about 1/3 of its health. So not too shabby. But now the Allies are really struggling to hold on to the territory.
We're losing a capture point.
No 5-man upgrade for Dzokonda, which is unusual. Is meaning that his Tommies are having trouble against the 5-man SCG Folks. Whereas usually if you go for 5-man and then as well with the LMGs, you're much more evenly matched. And he has one squad for repairs as well, and no crew repairs in this commander, so now he's got 3 vehicles, probably needs to get some more repairs on the field.
There's a Comet tank ready to go. We have 200 points now.
Let's get to work.
We need eyes on top. Shake a leg then.
Fresh Comet. Also a fresh walking Stuka from Noggano. Noggano has quite an impressive armoured force here. A lot of vehicles for him. Oof. 222 finally goes down, and that was vetted up, so not going to have access to that line of sight any longer. Now the Allies feeling a little bit more confident thanks to this Comet acting as a little bit more of a front line. We're going to soak some shots with it. Panther now for Scotch though. Oh, and that's the KV2. So everybody's got some toys now. Fragmentation bombs clear out the AT gun, but don't end up getting the stun on any of the tanks. KV2 being put down out here. There's a much faster reload now. Ooh, that was a big hit. Gonna be in big trouble. SU-85 needs to go in for the chase. Oh, just gets away. Got some concentration barrage coming in as well. Doing some damage. As well as these flares. Trying some line of sight. Looks like RedBjarne going in for the kill on the truck. And the Axis not really prepared for this. Not expecting this perhaps. Despite what we've seen throughout the game, the Allies have definitely had their eye on knocking out those trucks, and there it goes. Not even attempted a defense there. That could be big. Excuse me. All of a sudden, Allies looking for a triple cap here, and Axis massively on the back foot. Axis still have a superior army size though, so not going to count them out. KV2 in here doing some damage. Don't have to use it in siege mode anymore. Does have much faster reload, remember. And outside of siege mode. Panthers going in for a push on the KV2. But there's a lot of anti-tank here. Firefly, SU-85, Vet 3 Zis. He calls in the artillery on the Zis though. That's probably going to knock it out. Yeah, there it goes, and destroyed as well, but Panther went down for that. Not sure if it was worthwhile. Axis feeling desperate. Uh-oh, oh man. Panzer 2 in trouble. And it goes down to the Comet long range. That's actually a Vet 3 Firefly, that's why it went down there. It's got the 40 bonus damage. Without that bonus damage, it wouldn't have been able to get the kill. Now I've got a Centaur for Dzokonda. Axis do have control of 2 VPs, both teams getting quite low in the VP count. And it was Scotch who lost the Panther, not Noggano, so that tech structure loss not quite so punishing. Noggano does have the option to go for the Sturm Tiger. Got quite a lot of resources. Maybe he's going for a KT though. Question is, can they hang in there for long enough to save for the King Tiger? Packers there. No target weak point though. Missed opportunity. In front of 2 AT guns like this, the target weak point would have been massive. Might have even been able to get the kill there. Opportunity gone begging. Satchel destroys that decrewed AT gun now. Way off target with that barrage. 6-pounder stolen now. Oh man, double SU-85s, dishing it out to these Panthers. Now I hear King Tiger. Here it comes. Problem is he just took a lot of damage on that Panther. So can't use it in support here. Might be a sitting duck to the massive amount of tank destroyers the Allies have at the moment. Uh-oh. Let's use the... Ooh, Puma goes down. Noggano not using the aim shot there. Not trying to jam the turret on the Centaur. Stop it from firing. Ooh, and a squad loss as well. They're making use of his bunker busting barrage. Some good damage. Panther pushing in, but 2 SU-85s right there, and so is the Firefly. Just nopes out. Oh, and he's dropped some fragmentation bombing. There's a little bit of damage. He's going to be able to get a snare on one of them, but we've also got concentration barrage coming in response. Ooh, that was a monster shot from the Brumbier. Oh, right back at you from the KV-2. That thing can really hit when it penetrates. Axis just chucking units into the middle now, but not having much success. Tank destroyers are so strong on a map like Rails and Metal, such a narrow and long map. Very hard to outflank them. We can see that in full effect here. Target doing its best, just attack ground shots through the smoke, trying to prevent the cap, keep the game alive.
It's time for action.
Stone Pioneer is also repairing up his teammates' vehicles. Just are a little bit stretched. He still hasn't been using this emergency repairs. Very disappointing. He's got more than enough munitions. Even if he does use tank artillery, I mean the coordinated barrage, still not that much munitions. Not going to be able to burn through that many with just using this. And he's been using it quite effectively, you know, knocked out the Zis, tried to use it on the mortar pit. It's been working out pretty well for him so far. Oof, King Tiger shuts down that capture attempt. These mortar pits must be taking such a mental toll on the Axis. Trying to dodge them as you go for the cap is so draining. Some more base artillery coming in for Dzokonda. Phosphorus as well. Oof. Running the gauntlet. Fragmentation bombs go in. Temporarily stunning the KV2, but nothing there to follow up on it really. Ooh, decent walking Stuka barrage, but oh my god, 3 Su-85s now for RedBjarne. That's going to be really tricky to outmaneuver, and it looks like the Axis just call it there. No units nearby to capture the VPs. They realise the match is over. Very close game. Like, the Axis got to such a tough start. Almost clawed their way back in, but Allies just played solid. Mortar pits racked up the kills in the middle, locking up the capture territories, and ultimately they win the game. So game 3 coming up next. So here we are for the semi-finals. From the outside of the bracket of the 2v2 Commander Revamp tournament. In the south we have the Team Gold Part 2, former, I think, finalists in the Ultimate Teams tournament, Kurihi's tournament from earlier this year, I believe it was. Nico, this is Noggano, playing as the Brits, straight away locking in tactical support, and Scotch as the Soviets, who has locked in urban defense early. So probably a similar strategy to what we saw from Talisman and Tume, the Finnish team. Looks like maybe they're going to try go with the air resupply drop. Flesh out Soviet Tier 1. Anyway, battle for the garrison here, as you would expect. Stone Pioneers having trouble finding a position here, taking quite a lot of casualties to these Tommies. Get forced away. Fox Rangers move around to the heavy cover. They should be able to win that eventually, thanks to the health advantage they have currently. They'll be happy just chipping away at that engagement. OKW connecting the fuel now. Double OKW for the Polish team once again. RedBjarne and Dzokonda. So prolonged engagement here. Just heavy cover versus heavy cover. No incendiary grenades yet, no flamethrowers, no mortars, so this is basically how this kind of combat goes in the early game. But here comes the M3 breaking this up. Got a engineer squad in it already. Doesn't quite have munitions for a flamethrower yet, but as soon as he does, he'll be able to upgrade that. Starts roasting and toasting. Double Stern Pioneers here for RedBjarne. Don't see that too often. Multiple Stern Pioneers has been made better over the course of the year. Quite a lot of patches to improve the reinforcement costs and time, build time. M3 pulls back, perhaps worry about a Raketen sneaking up. It's coming back in now. Flamethrower pops. He's doing some good damage here. AT gun, but that's on the other side. It's spawning from the other base. No, here comes a Raketen from this side as well. Both players getting Raketens. Universal carry as well. Rolling onto the field quite late for Noggano though. So we are going to see double light vehicles, but yeah, I'm very surprised to see Universal carry coming in this late. Usually want to get it early, try fix some bleed with it first, make use of its self-repair ability, trade a bit of munitions for manpower. Can really help with those early game starts. Yeah, even if he did have to use self-repair, still would have had enough to go for the upgrade. Straight away runs into the Raketen. Doesn't go for an attack round long range. And it's going to pull back for repairs now. Flamer on the other side. Forcing a mass retreat here. 3 squads getting chased away. Rikiden wheeling its way up. Not in camouflage yet. Oh, pops it just the right time. I don't think he got spotted. Question is, how are they going to force the M3 around to try bait it into this Rikiden now? Can't move this too far forwards because it'll run into the penals. Looks like M3's heading back over this way now. Looks like the OKW players kind of maybe concentrating more now on this left-hand side. Trying to limit the area that they can be harassed by those double flamethrower light vehicles. So Mechanized going down in a reasonably safe position because he's got a squad here. If he didn't have this squad here, it's a possibility it would get pushed. Uh-oh. Okay, we've got 2 Rikidens nearby. And 3 falls for the trap. And it goes down to the small arms. Nice execution by Team Reto. Oh, with those penals, they are chopping them up out in the open. They're trying to focus fire the combat engineers so they can maintain control of this garrison here, but penals just outputting so much damage. Line goes off. 2 models down. But the Axe is really struggling to maintain control here. Ooh. First wipe of the game, I think. Oh, I'm not counting the M3 loss. Squad goes down for Dzokonda. Ooh. Double Sturms though, they're doing massive damage up close. Full retreat. But here comes the AEC coming in at nice timing. Rikiden is pushing up along with this though. So he's just trying to hang around and wait until the Rikiden gets in position, but it sets up in an awkward direction. And it misses the first shot. Super long range. Unfortunate. With Dzokonda there. But the Allies getting off to a roaring start here. Definitely have had superior map control to this point. Rest the fuel quite effectively here, so they're off to a good start. Getting that wipe as well on the Fox here early. This is actually going to be quite a late looks. Generally looks would be hitting the field a minute earlier than this, so this is a late looks. Just shows how bad things have been for the Axis so far. T70 hitting the field, that's a nightmare scenario as well. It's going to be a fast T70, you just about never see them faster than this. So things looking very good for the Allies at the moment. Doing some strong light vehicle timings and delaying their opponents. Oh, bold move here. RedBjarne going for a forward HQ just behind the building there. This team does seem to be very fond of trying out the forward headquarters with mixed results so far. But the Axis are hanging in there, just concentrating on the one side, seems to be working out quite well for them. You see poking its head round the side. Rikiden not quite in a position to return fire. Or was actually, but hits the ground. Second Rikiden trying to move in. T70's there as well. Uh-oh. Oh, I thought he was setting it up. He definitely could have got 1 or 2 shots in there. Missed opportunity. Oh, but the long range shot connects. I was trying to push in here, but don't have any indirect fire right now. Just a little bit of a struggle. Actually seen Scotch field some shock troops. Typically not very strong on this map, but I have to see how he gets on with them. They are newly buffed. Ooh. getting in a little bit of trouble trying to pull back to the forward retreat point here. All these squads also soft retreating to the forward retreat point. Or forward headquarters. They don't have the forward retreat point unlocked yet. Just forward reinforcement. Oh, that time Raketen misses its first shot. T70 gets away thanks to it. So they've called in some base howitzer fire here. Just the first stage, only one howitzer, so it's not going to be doing too much damage. And the Allies keeping the pressure on here across quite a wide front. Axis struggling to hang in there. But they are making good use of this forward reinforcement. Tries to soft retreat with the Raketen. Oh, could go down to the Shock. Shock's not chasing though. Maybe if the Shocks continue to chase, might be able to get the kill there. Second Raketen helps out against the T70. And this is very good use of the forward reinforcement, just constantly soft retreating. Allowing them to hang on to the ground. And this is the end of the AEC second Raketen, fresh Raketen for Dzokonda. Catches Noggano off guard there. Guess he thought, okay, I know that player's Raketen's over here, so I can play a bit aggressively from the AEC, but the fresh Raketen comes in from the side and seals the deal there. We have some recovery engineers here for Noggano as well, remember. It's basically the same cost as regular engineers, but have quite a few benefits, so definitely worth getting. Oh, they're trying to put down a forward tier 4 tech. This has been their MO throughout the tournament. Can they hold the line while this goes up? It's going to be a tense defense. I don't think the Allies are aware of its position quite yet. I don't think they've spotted it. And the Allies actually don't have, indirect fire at the moment. Currently, they don't have an AT gun up here to put pressure on it. It's moving up now, but can't really push it quite yet. Oh! 6-pounder coming in big there. Noggano actually going for 5 men upgrade and weapon upgrades before trying to get any kind of medium vehicle out. So focusing on those infantry upgrades first. G34 gets stolen by Scotch. That's nice for him. So he's gone tier 1. Didn't side tech either. So didn't have access to a machine gun otherwise. Comes the walking Stuka. Targeting these units in the middle. Doesn't really get a favourable scatter on the rockets though. Kind of lands on either side of the team weapon. So only does a little bit of damage. Unfortunate. Oh, that's a nasty retreat path. The wipe is there. 1 MG trying to hold the line against the entire army of RedBjarne. Pins one of them. Pins 2. The other one's trying to crawl out. And I think they're going to be able to get away, but close call. It's actually going to pull back. Did call in some base howitzer fire with that squad that got wiped, but didn't really do too much damage. Definitely not worth losing a squad for. And this is just so nasty. He can just constantly pull back, come out with his full strength army time and time again. Looks like the medics actually did get killed. He has upgraded them by the base howitzer fire, so he's having to use some Stern Pioneer med kits here to heal up because of it. So Axis have at least steadied the ship for now. Okay, we do have air resupply coming in now for Noggano. Wonder who will be picking up the AT gun. Big blob coming through, forcing a retreat there. Slightly late retreat, but I think he's going to get away. No STGs on these Volksgrenadiers, so their long-range damage not that strong currently. Especially when firing on the move like that. 6-pounder comes through with a nice hit. Walking Stuka though, loading up. Looks like it's targeting all these units behind the cover. A little bit of a fake out there, goes for a lengthways barrage, but once again, doesn't get favourable scatter on the rockets. Actually does just about no damage there, not a single model loss from that second barrage. So that's a bad start. You really want your first couple of walking Stuka barrages to come through big, start getting those vehemency bonuses so the cooldowns come down. You can just spam it even harder as the match progresses. You go for a walking Stuka this early, that's what you're hoping for. To really make good use of this veterancy. And now the Allies trying to put a bit of pressure on this forward tech structure. They've got double AT guns going after it. Got the recon mode from the T-70 providing the sight. Vet 2, it's got their sight bonus. But in comes the blob from RedBjarne, putting pressure on the AT guns, forcing them away. Tech structure is being repaired by double stern pioneers as well. That's got to be a benefit of having gone for the double stern pyros. Double repairs on your forward tech structure if that's part of your build. And it looks like he's trying to bait this into the Raketen there, but it's not falling for the bait. Here comes the Katyusha though. And the Katyusha finishes the job. Forward tech structure goes down. We've seen this quite a few times throughout the tournament. Now the Axis in big trouble. Bjarne didn't. Oh, he did. He got his Jagdpans out just in the nick of time, just before the tech structure fell. Noggano actually gone for grenades as well, so every troop upgrade. Walking Stuka barrage. That one a little bit more on target. That's a second walking Stuka as well, remember. He's got two of them now. Such going in. Oh. Okay. Doesn't actually destroy the weapon either. Unlucky. The Scotch. Another satchel. Once again, weapon still alive. 6-pounder pushed up. And, oh, the stolen MG34 in the back lines shutting down this push from RedBjarne. This is looking bad for the Axis. Jagdpans are pushing forwards but running straight into the AT gun. I think he's trying to find sight for the walking Stuka barrage. No? Well. Probably best one yet. Destroys the building, flattens the unit inside. 6 kills. Oh man, I think he's forgotten about this Jagdpanzer. Man, quite a lot of damage there. Finally takes down Flamey Universal Carrier there. Has opened up the capture on this right hand side. Axis are looking to relieve some VP pressure because they are in some big trouble. In comes another Katyusha barrage. Long range this time. But getting some favourable spread on the rockets, doing a lot of damage to the tech structure here. Oh my god, 4 Raketens for Dzokonda. That is crazy. We saw 5 machine guns from Von Ivan in this tournament. Now we're seeing 4 Raketens from Dzokonda. With that last little bit of scatter, gets 3 kills with that barrage. These walking Stuka barrages just haven't quite been cutting it. The Allies have been dodging them really effectively. It's not that they're way off target, but the Allies are very aware of what unit's being targeted and are dodging really well. All marks of a very strong 2v2 play. This dodging rocket artillery is a large part of 2v2 gameplay. And on the other side, trying to do sneaky rocket artillery barrages that your opponent doesn't know where to dodge. Is, obviously the counterpoint to that. But the Allies setting up a triple cap axis, getting very, very low on VPs now. It's actually quite interesting. He's got so many Raketans, but there's barely any units to actually shoot at. Allies kind of fighting more of an infantry war at the moment. Ooh, this could be nasty. Ooh, the Katyusha's doing some big damage there. Jagdpanzer's going in deep. Is he going after the Katyusha? He's going Katyusha hunting with it, I think. Going on a world tour. It looks like he's heading straight for this mine, though. And Su-85's there. Uh-oh. Jagdpanzer in deep trouble. Rear armor exposed. Su-85 just needs one more hit, and I think that'll seal the game for the Allies. RedBjarne without any tech. His tech structure nearly destroyed here. Lost his only tank. I think that's going to quite kill it. No, not quite. But very close. One more Katyusha barrage could seal it. No, the Su-85's actually pushed up all the way. And I think the friendly Raketan destroyed the building. And the Axis has seen enough. Don't want anything to do with those traitorous troops. End the game right there. Very well played by the Allies. A very sound game plan. And yeah, I feel like just the rocket artillery wasn't quite strong enough for Dzokonda. Didn't have enough impact on the Allies. And as a result, the Allies ended up overwhelming. So here we are for the deciding match between these two teams. Noggano and Scotch would have had faction selection, I believe, because they had superior VP control in their victory. So it looks like they've chosen to go for Allies. Somehow we've ended up on Vove Farmlands, which is typically thought of as an Ally favoured map. I believe the way the rules were was that yeah, the VP winner got faction selection, so VP loser would have had map selection, and I'm surprised that the Axis would have picked this map. But that being said, this is double OKW. The reason why this map is often so troublesome for Axis is because very wide front, very hard to use your team weapons here. Also very good for light vehicles, which has typically been a area of strength for Allies throughout the game's history. But okay, we got some very strong light vehicles of their own, the Lux and the Puma. So I'm very interested to see how the Axis strategize on this map, what kind of game they're going to bring for us. And very early on, could be a wipe here. Tommy's almost go down there. Very close call for Noggano. Looks like RedBjarne did rush down here, trying to lock up this point, and because Scotch, of course, having to build his tier 1 tech, basically has no way of contesting this. So doesn't even bother trying to cap the munitions. But it looks like the Axis, thanks to that early victory in the north, may secure double fuel early. So things looking quite strong for the Axis right now. Here comes the M3. Allies did prioritize capping the munitions, so a flamethrower is going to come through about as quickly as possible, thanks to the double munitions control here. And it's heading straight for the north. comes into the middle. One retreat there. Semifinal's trying to hide around the corner here. And there's a mine right there. Oh my god, he just gets around the side of it. Incredible luck. But he might still get it if he has to reverse back this way. No, not quite. Oh man, that's unfortunate for the Axis there. Just such a narrow escape on the M3. It could have been like a massive win for Dzokonda in the north if he took out the M3 that early. And now they've got to deal with these double light vehicles. Universal Carrier and the M3 harassing in the north, forcing away all the units. Quite an early Raketen from RedBjarne trying to get it in position, knowing that he's going to be up next for the light vehicle harassment. Wants to have it in a nice spot to try and get the kill in return. Putting down some mines as well. Looks like that's a key part with the double Stern Pioneer build. Wants to get some mines down to get the kill early on these light vehicles, stop them from doing too much damage. So wants to complete the cap and then soft retreating back towards the Raketen. The Universal Carrier thanks its lucky stars. Raketen shot connects with that abandoned vehicle there. Looks like Stern Pioneers trying to work their way around the side, hoping to maybe go for a flank. Maybe if this squad sticks around in engagement for too long, get the wipe on retreat with them. Seems to be what he's going for. So quite a heavy tier 1 start here for RedBjarne. Going for 3 Volksgrenadiers on top of 2 Stern Pioneers and a Raketen. More than you usually see from RKW. Mechanized going up for Dzokonda. M3 is there, Raketen setting up. And down it goes. Nicely positioned by RedBjarne. These Stern Pioneers doing some good damage. Early 5-man from Noggano again. Doing some good damage in this long range engagement though. Big push in the north for Dzokonda as well, getting control of all the territory up there. This time Noggano went for the machine gun upgrade on his Universal Carrier. Interesting to note. And it looks like RedBjarne maybe set his rally point down here, didn't re-rally it. Now his truck is going for a forward mid base all the way out here. So it looks like the Axis want to focus on the south, make sure they maintain control there, aided by that forward retreat point. We'll have to see how it gets on in this game, because we've seen a lot of punishes on that kind of play so far this tournament. But they wouldn't attempt it if they didn't know how strong it was. They know it's extremely effective. It just has been punished quite effectively so far. And the Allies regathering territory here in the north, but Axis going very deep into enemy territory here. Their territory control right now, if we look on the tactical map, is just about absolute. Things looking very strong for them. I don't think the Allies quite got enough from their M3. Quite get enough value from it. Here comes the looks as well. It's going to shut down that Universal Carrier, I imagine. Noggano is building an AT gun, but still got to make its way to the front lines. So this looks could do quite a lot of damage here. Allies not really well prepared for it. Last time we saw RedBjarne side tech and get out is this. What will be Scotch's answer? We'll go for some PTRSs, or what else are we going to see? 6 around just gets the cap on the fuel, but it's not going to last too long. Volksgrenadiers heading up that direction. And this blob just shutting down the advances of Scotch. And he's in a tough position because he can't really tick to tier 3 right now. Because if he does, his T70 is going to be coming in quite late thanks to the poor fuel control the Allies have. So he's in a really tough position on what unit to get right now. I suppose he does have the option of going for urban defense, getting out the M42, but as I said, this is a tough map for support weapons to be effective on. Oh, this is looking nasty on retreat. As they cross the road. Oh my god. Oh, that was a close call. Scotch breathing a sigh of relief there. Now setting up and getting a good shot in. This is just a nasty assault from the Axis, just charging head on here. A ginormous army. We saw a tactic very similar to this in the show match. It was on the live stream. And this is just overwhelming the Allies. They have no suppression here. They've got no answer to this kind of play. Even with a machine gun, you have to be careful because it could go down frontally to armies this large. No forward retreat point yet. Does have the medics, but these retreats are going to last a decent duration. And Puma following up from Dzokonda, so you can see the amount of fuel control the Axis have had so far. Puma and the looks this early in the game before the Allies have really got anything themselves. AC just hitting the field now. Scotch still 30 fuel away from a T70. He might have to go for an SU-76 if things keep going on this way. Things looking very, very good for the Axis right now. Noggano having to fight out of cover here, so not getting the full strength of his sections. Nice use of the AT gun to destroy the cover there though. A bit of nice ingenuity. Now fearing himself some engineers. Since he's got a couple of light vehicles on the field. But look at this territory control from the Axis. Every important point except for the central VP right now. They are looking really, really strong. And they're not making it easy to regather the territory either. Okay, these guys here were not quite at optimum range, and oh, that guy ran for ages before firing, but it looks like they're going to win. UC goes down. AT gun's in a good position to stop the flank, but not in a good position to stop the flank from this infantry. It's going to have to be careful with that 6-pounder. Could go down to a flank like that very rapidly. And yeah, oh, Scotch just can't quite afford the T70. By the time it hits the field, it's going to be like a 12-minute 30 T70. Very, very late. So it did show the perils of his strategy. Not side-ticking, trying to get some support weapons to help in this scenario. Or fielding the M42.
Field recovery teams are ready to salvage vehicles.
All these Fox units getting STGs as well, increasing their firepower, fighting from superior cover at the same time. Pino's coming for a pretty nice flank here though. Compromising the cover a little bit. Senior grenade stops that though. Oh my god, he actually retreats the squad as well. Kind of surprising. There's another penal squad though, that should be enough. Oh, as soon as they capture the fuel, they're going to lose it once more. T70 is there. So can this T70 turn the game around? He does have the forward retreat point now as well, so RedBjarne feeling very comfortable. Because tier 4 tech going down, locking the southern fuel. But the Allies have finally broken the stranglehold at least a little bit. As I said, this map is very strong for light vehicles, so the fact that the Axis have managed to delay this T-70 hitting the field for so long is so good for them. It means they've navigated the trickiest part of the match, or at least delayed it heavily, lessened its impact. So much that it might even be inconsequential, because RedBjarne straight away fielding himself a Panzer IV as soon as that tech structure is complete. Oh my god. 13-minute Panzer IV, you don't see that every day from OKW. Oh, AC, got to be careful. Looks like it's going to take a Faust. No Faust. Slight error there. Trying to go for some harassing plays. Scotch just can't assault frontally. Gets these forward retreat points. Just loses territory every time. Really needs some suppression. Now the Panzer IV's on the field. Allies are like, oh man, gotta be worried about losing these 6-pounders now to a flank. Because RedBjarne's constantly threatening with a large army to flank time and time again. So he's going to take a Faust. And it looks like the Panzer IV wants to go in for the kill here. Right outside the Allies' base, the Axis applying pressure, doing a lot of damage. 6-pounders moving to position now, but so is the Raketen. AC in trouble. Fox Treaters could go down though as well, and they do. Oh, but the AC doesn't pop smoke and it goes down. Oh, I didn't have munitions for the smoke even. So it's how much trouble they're in. Doesn't even have the munitions for smoke. Just used a air resupply operation. Also been planting quite a lot of mines, speaking of. Looks runs over one. Nice attack ground attempt, but just scatters to the side. Allies pushing out here. One thing that they haven't really been doing is putting down booby traps. I don't think there's been too much minesweeping going on up here, so that would be a nice idea for Scotch to try plant some booby traps in the north, help them hold on to that territory. Looks like we're going to be seeing a tech structure for Dzokonda as well in a very aggressive position. That's how comfortable they feel right now. Oh, is that misplaced confidence? No, Fox is going to get away there. It's getting extremely unlucky, but there's no chance. This T-70's done almost nothing, only 1 kill so far. 2 kills now. Hits a mine, Raketen nearby. It's looking dead. P4 comes in. Raketen seals the deal. P4 blitzes away to safety from the AT gun as well. Good pick off. He's actually rebuilding the T-70. That shows the desperation from Scotch. Does have the option now to try and straight save for the KV2, but he's going for another T-70. Guess he feels he needs the extra firepower to deal with these OKW squads. Does he have healing? Oh, he does have healing. See, a lot of low health squads does, but I was wondering. Interesting to see what Dzokonda chooses to get from his tier 4 tech. Also has a forward retreat point right next to it. So Axis feeling very, very comfortable in their position here. Another air resupply coming in from Noggano. Because they feel like they need some more anti-tank support. Which is probably going to be true if it's not true currently. Oh, runs over another mine. 6-pounder's there. He's one more shot to connect. And there goes the looks at least. So nice early pick off. And he was also running around the backside with this, threatening the heat grenade. Royal Engineers not quite strong enough to beat the Stern Pioneers. What's this Panzer IV doing? Deep in enemy territory. Perhaps chasing after the T-70? I'm not sure. Either way. Somehow, I don't understand how the Allies have done it, but the VP scores are pretty much even right now. Despite being at such a huge disadvantage, they haven't been neglecting the VPs. Panzer IV coming in from the side. T-70 in trouble, but there are a lot of AT guns here. If Panzer IV peeks its head round, could go down. Six-pounder from the side. Doesn't have sight. Goes for an attack round, and it next to the elevation, there's just no chance of that happening. If he just had sight for a little bit longer, might have been able to knock out the Panzer IV in response there, but doesn't quite happen. And some salvage going on here. Another Panzer IV for RedBjarne. And why not? I mean, what he's fighting at the moment is penals. Panzer IV going to have much better damage against penals than a Panther. And it's not like he's up against like a armor threat right now from the Allies, so quite comfortable. Doesn't need the extra anti-tank firepower, needs the anti-infantry. Goes for another Panzer IV. And he's getting kind of lucky with these AT guns, penetrating almost every shot. Even against the armoured skirts Panzer IV. Does gain a penetration bonus at bit 3, so yeah, it hasn't happened yet. Kind of pushing in here, but imagine if he had some suppression following this up. It would be doing so much better. And push kind of run down a steam, just all these units back here reinforcing, just providing an endless wall. Squad trying to run in for a sticky satchel, but I don't think it's going to quite happen. And now these AT guns are at threat from the swarming Stern Pioneers. It's in big trouble. T-70's coming to help, but Panzer IV's right there as well. In the north, things are not looking much better for the Allies either. Regather the VP up here, but for how long? One AT gun goes down. Oh, main gun destroyed on the Panzer IV though. A little bit unlucky. Second AT gun goes down. P4 trying to blitz away to safety. And there's nothing to chase him here, so I think he's going to get away. Third AT gun goes down. Folks, Folks and Sterns focusing that squad. Catches it on retreat. We're kidding up there. Threatening to destroy these decrewed AT guns. One goes down.
One of our anti-tank guns is gone.
6-pounder from the north and not quite killing it either. Here come the shock troops. Ooh, that was a good grenade. Can they knock out that Stern Pioneer on retreat? Ooh, that was a close call. And this other Panzer IV kind of in a dangerous position. Okay, he manages to regather the Raketten. But in comes his allies units now, and they're looking angry. Closing in with 2 of them. Probably going to hope to throw a grenade here. Grenade from Noggano. Sticking around with the high health Panzer IV. Ooh, that was a good grenade. Could get the wipers across the road. Always wide. You can't run and gun with the Tommies. Oh, that could have been a wipe. Tommies have like some of the worst moving accuracy modifiers in the game. So
The ability is
just
ready.
about never correct to run and gun with them. Comes another air resupply. I don't think we've seen any of the mortars even be used, because not like they're up against a lot of team weapons here. Don't really need the firepower from the mortars. Finally, we do have a machine gun though from Noggano. Okay, we got some Axis vehicles coming around the side here. We've got 3 AT guns there though. This could be trouble for them.
The enemy is determined.
Puma pop smoke.
300 points.
Trying to cover the retreat. Oh, the Puma gets away. Nice try though from the Allies. 3rd Panzer IV for RedBjarne. I think that might be the critical mass where you can just disrespect even this many anti-tank guns and just run on top of them, decrew them all, and win the game. But we have to see how it goes, especially if he gets support from his teammates' vehicles at the same time. I feel like Axis have now reached critical mass of armour. Allies really have no response. Scotch's T-70s. How many has he made? 3 T-70s. So if he didn't make those last 2 T-70s, he would have enough fuel for a KV-2 basically. Just thinking about the opportunity cost of his decision there and not to save, but who knows, this T-70 might have contributed enough, or those 2 T-70s might have contributed enough to allow the Allies to stay in the game for this long. It's hard to quantify those kind of things. Machine gun just getting blitzed out by these Panzer IVs. Gets decrewed. Got some artillery come in. I think that's some tank commander artillery from Dzokonda, forcing these AT guns out of the way. Oh, and they get the wipe on the Shockies on retreat. Infantry swarming on the other one. Down it goes. And Axis sticking around trying to destroy the decrewed weapons as well. AT gun stolen one back here, destroying this one. Every time the Axis make a push like this, the Allies just fail to regather control of the territory. And that's it. So the Axis play a very strong early game there. Just keep the momentum going. Allies aren't able to claw their way back in. Very well played by the Axis, and you know, people said that forward HQs are dead, but these guys showing us they do have worth.